Now does the Mike Flynn was unmasked, but we just collected his information incidentally make sense? So I told you yesterday that one of our better sources, 279, had cued me into something. And I'll just start out with the headline first so you understand what we're going with this. And this is critical. I'll ask this question because you can avoid an assertion, but you can't avoid a question, even the liberals watching. The last days of the Obama administration, who was protecting who? Did Susan Rice send herself that infamous January 20th, Obama told us to do everything by the book email to herself to protect Obama? Or on January 12th, did Obama issue an executive order to protect Susan Rice and everyone else involved in the illicit abuse of intelligence to spy on political opponents? How this story has escaped mainstream media scrutiny, again, is puzzling because the evidence is right in front of you. Keep this in your head. Was it Obama on his way out the door with just a couple days left in office? Did he issue a last-minute executive order to provide some blanket cover for all of the people that had abused their access to intelligence to spy on everyone? What do I mean? I want to show you this first. And I bring this up, by the way, in light of the new. Why am I bringing this up now? Because I got wind yesterday that Attorney General Barr has appointed a new United States Attorney, John Bash, to look into the unmasking scandal itself. In other words, the Obama administration seeking the names of people in basically wiretaps, unmasking. In other words, unmask the names and let us see who it was. They were spying on people. It's as simple as that. Barr is not doing that and assigning a separate United States attorney because he's wasting his time. He's not doing that. He has something here, and I think it's huge. And I think Obama telegraphed it on the way out the door. Let's go first to unmasking number 3 of the unmasking request. This was just released by former Acting Director of National Intelligence, the excellent Rick Grinnell, who unleashed a 3-page list. This is important. This is page 3 I have up on the screen now. Again, youtube.com/Bongino if you want to watch the video. This is page 3 of the people who had unmasked Mike Flynn from late December up until January 12th. And I want you to look at page 3 here because I didn't include the other 2 pages. Just take my word for it. Follow me. This is going to be important in relationship to this executive order. There are no unmasking requests released by Grinnell involving Mike Flynn after January 12th. And as you can see here on page 3, who was the last person to issue an unmasking request? Oh, Vice President of the United States, Joseph Biden, on January 12th of 2017. Just a week before Barack Obama is getting ready to leave office. There are no more unmasking requests after the 12th. On Flynn. They still had a week. They still had a week to spy on Flynn. Why stop? Why stop on January 12th? Because maybe they didn't have to unmask Flynn anymore. Oh, what do you mean? They didn't have to. So Biden's the last one? So I'm guessing as all this unmasking is going on, now they're figuring out they've only got a few weeks left until Trump takes office, and that Trump is going to figure all this out because he's going to have access to it. They already know Mike Flynn knows about the spying operation and the dossier because the Brits, as I've told you repeatedly, have already notified Mike Flynn that Steele is not to be trusted. Flynn already, Trump's incoming national security advisor, has a multitude of questions about exactly why the FBI was spying on Trump. But suspiciously, all of those unmasking requests dry up after January 12th. Well, let's go to this article that covers this Barack Obama executive order, 12333, conveniently issued, what, you're never going to believe this, on January 12th of 2017. My gosh, notice how the media phrases this too, Joe. Very important. Obama administration releases long-awaited. In other words, this just didn't happen now. This is long. We've been doing this for a long time, winking it up. Obama administration releases long-awaited new executive order 12333 rules on sharing of raw signals intelligence information within the IC. Jim Clapper signed the rules on December 15th. And Loretta Lynch signed them on January 3rd? Fascinating. The hell does that do, Joe? Executive Order 12333. Obama's getting ready to leave office. You think he'd be taking pictures with everybody? Hey, it's been a fun run. Obamacare, destroying the economy, all that great stuff we did. It was terrific. You think he'd be doing that? Give him a little cake like they walk in. Thank you, Mr. President. Your destruction of the economy was fantastic. Everybody went to blow out the candles. No, they're not doing that. Obama, for some bizarre reason, big civil libertarian, air quotes, Obama, issues an executive order on January 12th stating that raw signals intelligence can be shared widely and disseminated within the entire intelligence community. Fascinating. Maybe kind of sort of explains why after January 12th they didn't need any longer to unmask General Flynn. Why not? We just signed this executive order. We can just all check it out now. It gets better. Just got layer. We're just cracking the patina of this. After January 12th, it's open season, fellas. Now you may say, well, what exactly does Executive Order 12333 do? Because that seems awfully disturbing. Big civil libertarian Obama, ACLU supported Obama, is promoting the wide dissemination of raw intelligence information. Well, let's go to this article at The Atlantic. This is a pretty good one. By the way, I have this up at the show notes today. Please, Bongino.com/newsletter. That's how you subscribe to the show notes. The newsletter is the show notes. Read this article. I'm humbly begging you. What is it? Karen Waddell, January 13, 2017, the day afterwards, The Atlantic. Why is Obama expanding surveillance powers right before he leaves office? It could prevent Trump from extending them even more. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. You notice how these media people, there are two narratives here are going to be like, this just didn't happen recently. We've been working on this for a long time. Why? Why would they say that? And we'll get to that. And secondly, we're just doing this to stop Trump. You're doing what? You're expanding the massive government surveillance state because you're afraid Trump may use those expanded powers. Does that make any sense? He's a tyrant. You think he's a tyrant? And you're giving him expanded surveillance powers. If you're pulling your hair out like that doesn't make any sense, it's not supposed to. This is the media fabricating a narrative because they want to distract you from the fact that Obama signed an executive order that did this. Look at the Atlantic piece, and it'll explain everything about Mike Flynn. It says, quote, the civil liberties concerned often surrounds the use of incidentally collected information. Under the new rule, the Obama executive order, the FBI could not obtain access to or search for raw intelligence information for ordinary criminals in an ordinary criminal investigation against a U.S. person. Okay. However, there's always a however. However, if the FBI incidentally seized evidence of a crime, they are allowed to use that information. So that tends to be where the tension is for people who are concerned with the potential impacts that this change could have on U.S. persons. Oh. You get it? Now does the Mike Flynn was unmasked, but we just collected his information incidentally make sense?
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.